So now that we got our curb line, we are going to next work on the building footprint. So make sure you hit save. We want to make sure we save the changes that we had previously. And then we want to turn on the building footprint. So if we go over to our layers here, if you put an asterisk and then BLD or just BL, it picks up the building, right? So it's going to show everything and then the BL. So it's kind of a wild card to change these layers. And then we're going to turn on the building footprint. You can see the finished floor elevation and then uh, the outline of the building, or what is, if you select it, you can see here this is a block. So again, if you went through the previous CAD viewer training on making blocks, inserting blocks, you would understand that this is basically a collection of objects. Now we could explode this into smaller entities, but we don't need all this detail for stakeout. All we really need is a line that goes around the outside. So what we want to do is, let's, now that we've turned those on, we can put in our STK layers, and we can see here that we don't have a building layer yet. So let's go ahead and make one. So we'll go to our layer manager, click new layer, and we'll do STK-building, and let's make that magenta. If we didn't already do that previously, um, we're going to go ahead and do that now. So if you do have building, then you want to make that your current layer. So we'll just make that active. And again, multiple ways that you can do that. Now what we're going to do is just use a polyline, and we're going to draw a line around this building. So we're going to come in here and zoom in. We're going to snap to the endpoint of that line. And it doesn't really matter which direction you go. I kind of always have it work clockwise, I mean. So I'm going to come up and grab that corner, and then we will come down over here and we will grab that corner, and then we will come over here, grab that corner, and then from here we can really just right click and hit close, and it's going to close that object. Except now that I did that, I can see that we actually have a little jog in here for the entranceway. So we probably want to come to here and then down. Now we could right click and or undo and start over. So if we undo, it basically does the whole thing. If we redo, it'll put it back. Okay. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to pick this line, the polyline, I'm going to double click, and you can see that we can edit the vertex. So I'm going to right click and say edit vertex, and you can see that it has a white X here, and it's asking us what we want to do. Well, we want to insert. So if I right click and pick insert, I'm inserting a new point. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to go along what looks like this line here, and I'm going to snap to that point there. So you can see that it's changed that line. And then we're going to right click again and insert another one. Actually, let me escape out of that because I want to move my vertex, right? So we're going to go next, right? Because we want the X to be here, because if it was here, we'd insert it somewhere in here. So I hit next to move it up to here. I'm going to right click and insert. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in this point right here. And now that it looks like I missed it, we'll fix that. So now that we've got it, right, I missed that endpoint slightly. So we want to make sure that we get it right. I'm going to escape out of the command. I'm going to grab that grip edit. I grab that grip, left click, and I'm going to drag it. Let's move it over here for a second. And I'll come over here and snap to that endpoint right there. So you want to be precise to make sure that it's all in. And then over here, looks like we missed that as well. So let's move that out a little bit. Just verify that we did draw our building footprint properly. So I'm going to roll wheel, zoom out, and same here. Looks like we missed that endpoint there slightly. So just making sure we snap it to the endpoint. Now we can go back to here, star BL, turn off the building layers. If we did this, you can see we can leave that on. That's really going to tell us that our finished floor elevation is 24.5. So if we're staking it out, we can, we'll be able to see that. So, we can just come back and put in STK, and now we've got our building pad. So next we'll do is there's a couple other, concrete pads and stuff that we want to put in. Maybe we can do the utilities as well. We'll take a look at that. But we're getting close to really just creating the 2D information we need to go stake out the horizontal locations for this property, and we can use the grading plan to actually put in elevations as well. But right now we're just focusing on the 2D.